Hello students, welcome back to my channel. If you have not subscribed my channel yet, then please press the subscription button, and in today's video we are going to study about fashion designing topic class 2, and we are studying textiles and clothing subject. So let's start the video. Now we are going to study about some important points. So the first point is use of line. In any dress designing or you are making a sketch on paper, use of line can conceal. It can conceal or it can reveal the defects of anything in the dress or in the sketch. And area can be appear taller when divided by vertical lines, and it can also be appear wider when divided by horizontal lines. Curved lines can highlight the body curves. Next point is geometric shapes. What type of feeling does geometric shapes give when used in dress designing? It usually gives a feeling of security. Curved and natural shapes gives a feeling of softness, whereas irregular shape gives feeling of weakness and impermanence. Shapes also add to the visual effects. Bigger and bolder the pattern will be, larger the form is going to look. There are different textures. In relation to fabric. When you go to the market and you have to buy, or you are going to buy any type of cloth, then you usually touch it and feel the texture of the cloth. So in relation to that only, we have different types of textures, like we have rough textures, smooth, glossy, matte, etc. Each and every texture has different effect. One can be physical effects also, visual effect, and psychological effects also. It also caters to the comfort and weight. Now we are going to study about another principle of design, or another principle of dressmaking. We have already studied in last video about harmony. Now we are going to study about balance. What is balance? This principle brings overall stability to a design through the satisfying management of its parts when the lines, shapes, values, colors and textures are placed so that a certain pace is established. The design appears restful. This restful effect in design may be obtained through formal or informal balance. So in relation to principles of design, we have two types of balance. First is formal balance and second is informal balance. So what is formal balance? Formal balance is also known as a symmetrical balance. Right, the color lines and spaces must be identical or appear so on either side of the imaginary center. This equality develops a sense of dignity and calmness. Frequently, formal balance is illustrated by the seesaw on which two children of identical weight are seated equidistant from the center or the fulcrum. It's just as an example considered here. It is a simple type of balance to employ, but its quietness may sometimes monotonous. Another one is informal balance. It is also known as asymmetrical balance. It has a tendency to be carefree, producing a casual, irregular feeling. The lines, spaces and colors on either side of the imaginary center are different. They are not same. They are not in symmetrical form. These design elements are placed in such a way that the effect is pleasing, as when large and small person balances on a seesaw. Example: a small amount of bright color placed near the center balances a similar amount of dull color placed further from the center. A large pocket on the skirt of a dress is balanced by a smaller blouse pocket if the better is placed further from the center. Now we are going to study about another principle of design, that is proportion. Proportion means the relationship of all parts of a design to each other. How every part of a design is related to each other is proportion and of these parts to the whole composition also. When an interest but pleasing relationship exists between the amounts or sizes, the design will be said to have a good proportion. The individual sections of a garment, such as pockets, collars, trimmings, details, or surfaces, patterns, must be all related to the size of the wearer and to one another. A small girl is overpowered with a big hat and large purse. A heavy girl of average height would took out of place in a dainty print dress and a tiny handbag. So this is a type of proportion. Now next is rhythm. Rhythm is a principle which gives movement to the design. The details of the design are organized so that it is suitable pathway for the eye to follow. It follows the eye to glide smooth from the center of interest to other subordinate objects. This is accomplished in dress design by means of rhythmic movement through related lines, shapes, or colors. The orderly movement may be obtained by means of repetition of lines also. First is rhythm by repetition. Rhythm is produced when a line, shape, or color is repeated at regular intervals. It is possible to display rhythm by repetition in clothes in various ways. A common that is the services of button placed along the front opening of dress, rows of tucks, color in hat and gloves, repetition of texture used in the suit in a hat are all ways by which rhythm through repetition is produced in costume design. Next is rhythm by gradation. Rhythm may also be developed when there is orderly arrangement of details according to the size of a person. This is rhythm by means of gradation. The details are arranged from small to large. Not only a size of a person, but according to the size of details of designs of the things that we are going to use in our dress designing. So from largest to dark and from bright color to dull ones also, if it is seen in a string of graduated pearl beads, tucks or suffers of varying width or vertical trimmings of varying height, always changing in perfect sequences of size. Next is rhythm in radiation. Radiation is not always considered a means of developing rhythm. However, the line direction that radiates from the center of interest is dignity, a well-arranged line movement with repetition of related lines within the customers. Next principle is emphasis. Emphasis is the principle which the designers use to create interest in a design by attracting more attention to one part than the other parts. This produces a center of interest with other details of design subordinate to it. However, the parts should be related so that arranged in a harmonious one. Emphasis should be placed in relation to the structural lines of the body at the machine's waistlines, lower edges of a skirt, at shoulders or wrist. Now, how can we produce emphasis? Production of emphasis, a contrast in line, shape, value, color or texture attracts the eye to the point of differences. A crisp white color on a black dress is a simple way of forcing attention on the face. A grouping of lines and shapes so that they become more significant than the others produces a focal point. Rhythm or movement in a design helps to carry the eye to the center of interest. Decoration that is not a part of the basic costume but enhances its structural beauty may also be used to provide emphasis. In fact, it is one of the most interesting ways of producing emphasis. Next principle of design is repetition. Repetition means duplication. Duplication may refer to repetition. Duplication may be regarded as an activity because our duplicates make a gain of clothing, but replication is a process in which something is replicated or copied of a design. Socio-psychological aspects of clothing. This is another topic. Now we have completed our principles of design. Now we are going to start a new topic, that is socio Psychological aspects of clothing. Wearing of clothes is exclusively a human characteristic and is a feature of most human societies. A significant role is played by clothing in social interaction and also forming an impression on another person. The personality and the actions are affected and judged by the clothing of a person. Clothing affects our behavior too. This means that our way of clothing also affects our behavior. Men and women dress differentiately in each culture. Also, there are changes in wearing dresses according to the climate and the kind of a job a person is doing or people are doing. Example, a laborer will avoid wearing light colored or white colored with sheer fabric. Some cultures indicates physical maturity by bringing out changes in clothing. Our moods and behaviors are also depicted through clothing in a way that we prefer gloomy colors and simple dresses when we are sad, while our preferences shifts to more vibrant and variety of dresses when we are happy. So, and don't forget to press the subscription button and also don't forget to press the bell icon.